in charge of the Syrian MiGs for the time being. Welcome to the MiG.
I think this should be dealt with by the IDF spokesman.
Is it confirmed that it's here?
I cannot deal with this.
I think for our Air Force it's quite advantageous because they can get a lot of information out of such an aircraft, especially knowing about it, the avionics, the procedures, the radio set, the navigation set, the identification, IFF, identification friend-foe, and warning against detection by radar, and so on, and can get a lot. Furthermore, if the gentleman is willing to talk and tell them about training and about procedure, how they work, how they prepare for combat, that's quite significant.
What do you know about the MiG-23 in the Syrian Air Force?
I think it's the aircraft. They've got most such more than any other model possibly. It's a mainstay of the aircraft, of the Air Force. Of course, they have got now the more modern MiG-29. But the MiG-23 was the aircraft we encountered in 1982 in Lebanon. It can do air-to-air combat, it can do ground support, and so on. And it has been upgraded. So there are quite many models of MiG-23. And if our people are correct that this one is one of the latest models, you can get quite a lot of information out of this aircraft, not to mention out of the pilot.
Can you draw any conclusion from the fact that the aircraft landed in a remote airfield and not in a military army base?
No, there are several deserted airstrips since World War II, and maybe just missed.
Northern Israel. He landed at a civilian airfield shortly before noon. The MiG's arrival took Israeli officials by surprise, but it wasn't a pleasant surprise. A military spokesman told CNN the Air Force tracked the MiG as it flew through Israeli airspace for a full 7 minutes, crossing half the country, but never managed to scramble planes to intercept it. Police in the northern Israeli city of Afula say the MiG frightened residents as it swooped over town. Witnesses at the airstrip say the pilot drank tea with Israeli civilians for at least 20 minutes before security forces arrived on the scene. The Air Force says it followed standard procedures, but a defense source told CNN the Air Force is skirting the issue. The military has launched an investigation. The quality of Israel's air defenses has come under fire before. In 1987, a Palestinian guerrilla penetrated northern Israel in a motorized hang glider, killing 6 soldiers. Other Arab pilots have defected to Israel, providing vital military data.
This is a similar case where information regarding this plane could help us and, of course, our allies.
The swing-winged MiG-23, known as the Flogger, is equipped with advanced electronics. And the Syrian pilot, identified as Major Adel Bessam, could also provide Israel with vital information about its most implacable foe. But troubling questions remain about his casual arrival here, as Israel thanked the heavens above that his intentions were peaceful.
المسؤول عن مجموعة من طياري سلاح الجو السوري وابن نائب رئيس الأركان طلب القيام بطلعة تكريما للرئيس حافظ الأسد في الطائرة الحديثة في تلك الأيام الميغ 23 التي كانت تعد رأس الحربة في الصراع على السماء مقابل سلاح الجو الإسرائيلي. عين توجه إلى والدته وقبل يديها ثم ركب الطائرة وهرب بها إلى إسرائيل. هبوط الطائرة في إسرائيل عد إنجازا كبيرا، والأمريكيون انتظروا هذه الفرصة لفحص الطائرة الروسية الحديثة، وبعد هبوطه استقبله رئيس الحكومة إسحاق شمير، وبعدها قامت أجهزة الأمن بالتحقيق معه، ثم جنده الشباك حتى سنة 2002 لاستدراج السجناء الأمنيين. في المقابل دفعت العائلة في سوريا ثمنا باهظا، فوالده وأخواه أعدموا بتهمة الخيانة.
קשרת הקשר עם עוד אחרים לפגוע במתלונן.
أجل الطيار السوري تورط في المشاكل. انحداره بدأ منذ توقيف عمله في أجهزة الأمن. بداية اعتقل بتهمة القيادة دون رخصة، ثم أدين بإحراق سيارة، والآن هو متهم بمهاجمة جار.
תודה למשטרה, תודה לקצין מודיעין שלו. אני תרמתי הרבה למדינה. הרבה תרמתי למדינה.
בעברו תרם מאוד למדינת ישראל. אני לא אוכל להרחיב על כך, אבל מדובר באדם שמסר את כל כולו למדינת ישראל ותרם רבות למען ביטחון המדינה.
الطيار معتقل بسبب عمل. لو أن أحدا آخر قام به لأطلق سراحه. لم تعد أجهزة الأمن ولا وزارة الدفاع مهتمة به. لقد أهمل إلى حد يصعب التصديق أنه كان يعد فيما مضى من نخبة سلاح الجو السوري، والذي قدم لإسرائيل أحد أكبر إنجازاتها الاستخبارية.